Hello. So it's confession time to a degree, in that I've been buying physical media again, having gotten rid of most of what I own previously. The main reason is that I want to own my own movies again. I want to have them on a shelf where I can just pick and choose and watch them when I like, and I do watch them a lot. And it occurred to me that, the streaming services, they keep putting their prices up, don't they? And also, it's not possible just to say, I'll just have Netflix or Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, whatever, because invariably the films you want are spread across multiple streaming services often. And I don't like it when you log in and it says leaving soon. You're like, well, I want to be able to watch that in the future. And I can't because it's leaving. So I don't like any of that. Also, I feel like a lot of people have got rid of their Blu-ray collections and DVDs, and they've been given away to charity shops and stuff. So it's actually really a good time to pick these up cheap. You can go into shops and find. I've been buying a lot of Blu-rays up for £1 each. Occasionally, if you're lucky, it might be two for £1. A lot of shops don't really differentiate between DVDs and Blu-rays, for example. So they just stick them all in together. Maybe the staff don't even know the difference. And occasionally you get crazy things like in charity shops. You might find 3 for £1 or 5 for £1 even. So I picked up some recently for 5 for £1. So that's 20p each, So there's never been a better time to buy, I think. And the other thing is, I don't know if you can see in the background, there's a TV there. It doesn't actually look very big here, but it's quite far away. It is quite a big TV. I think it might be 65 inch or something like that. And as you can also see, it's on a big flat wall. So my old house, it was an older house. It was a period property. It had alcoves. So actually, you're a bit limited. I was trying to shoehorn my TV into this alcove, and I found that I could only have a maximum of 50 inch, I think it was. I just couldn't get a bigger TV in there. And some people might say, well, you don't need a bigger TV. But if you like watching movies and in higher definition or in 4K even, you kind of do want them to be big. You want to be emulating that cinematic experience at home. So moving house allowed me to buy a new TV that would fit. I could have gone bigger, but I didn't want to go any bigger than that. It seems big enough when I'm sitting on this sofa here. I didn't want to have to rely on my internet connection to be able to watch a film. And obviously, if you're streaming, you do that, don't you? I wanted to be able to watch them offline, as it were, off grid, and not suffer any kind of drop in quality or any buffering. And I'm really enjoying doing that. And lastly, the sound quality is much better on a Blu-ray as well. I notice when I watch a streamed film, it sounds compressed and a bit fuzzy and just not as clear. And another reason to add to the many, my partner is actually deaf, so she can only watch or really enjoy a film if it's got subtitles. The amount of times I would either buy or rent a film from, say, Amazon or other services, only to find there was no subtitles, and I'd often have to sort of get in touch and say, look, we can't watch this, and often get a refund, thankfully. But with a Blu-ray and a DVD, you've often got subtitles, as standard in multiple languages. Not that I would need them, but it's there, and that's a really good feature to have. I do sometimes put them on anyway. I know some people absolutely hate it, and there's loads of people who don't go to the cinema if the film's got subtitles and so on. But actually, if you do need those in order to be able to understand the film, if you're deaf, whatever, it's really important that we do provide these for that percentage of the population that need them. There we go. There's a bit of waffling. So what I've been doing is buying online, Amazon, eBay. You can pick up most of your favourite films really cheap. And I've also been really enjoying just scouring the charity shop. So just going in there, it's kind of, I already like charity shopping anyway for clothes and things. And the jumble sale element of it, like there might be loads of good stuff or nothing at all. You don't know, you just go and have a rummage, don't you? So I've been really enjoying going and looking around and finding gems, films that I've not seen for years, and go, I must rediscover that and buying them. So here's a little look at some other films that I've been picking up recently. Right, so here's just a small selection of some of the ones I've been rebuying, as it were. I don't know if it's actually rebuying, because I didn't necessarily own them all on Blu-ray originally, but I've certainly seen them in the past and own them digitally for sure. So first of all, what have we got here? The Sixth Sense. A bit rattly, but Yeah, this is the first Shyamalan film I think I watched. Was it his first film? I don't know, but it was the one that I kind of like watched first, and I was like, oh, that was interesting. That was really good twist, and it's a good story. So yeah, I've got this as well. Magnifying glass I bought in a garden centre, which is really cool. So you can, magnify things, believe it or not. But you can also, it's also got a switch there. Looks only cost about £5, and it's got lights on the bottom, so you can magnify and illuminate at the same time. So it's just a little look. Just looking at the back of this Sixth Sense. Yeah, because like I'm getting on a bit. I'm like 50. My eyesight's not as great. I've got like correction in this eye. So when it's dark in the evening, I often struggle to read this very tiny text on coloured backgrounds and stuff. This makes it a doddle, so I can see automatically. So it's audio enhanced. We've got Dolby Digital 5.1 in English, French, Spanish. And then it's got it in DTS 5.1 for French and Spanish. It's got subtitles in, wait for it, English, French, Spanish, Danish, Finnish, Icelandic and Dutch. So that's good, isn't it? I can see that it's regions A, B and C, multi-region or region free, whatever you want to call it. It's 107 minutes long. It's quite a good length for a film, I think, that. I don't want them much longer than that. I tend to find if you can tell a story in under 2 hours, it's good. And conversely, if you can't tell a story in under 2 hours, then maybe you're not telling it right. Because you should be able to, with some exceptions, like Lord of the Rings and so on. What else have we got? All kinds of stuff on the back here. This is a good film anyway. I like the way when you see all these things on, like, bring home the ultimate high-definition experience. Long before 4K was around, obviously. And possibly when they were still trying to like make you buy Blu-rays instead of HD DVDs, when that war was raging. Oh yeah, it says maximum high definition experience on the front in the corner as well. I mean, there's Bruce Willis there, looking pretty young. I suppose he was. And Haley Joel Osment, whatever his name was, who was very young too. Great film. Anyway, a bit rattly. Let's have a look inside just while we're here. I do like the fact that you get the disc with the picture on it too. Obviously, you don't get that when you buy a digital movie or you're streaming it. You just don't get that. So that's nice. What else have we got? Still sealed, this one. Gravity. Excellent film with George Clooney and Sandra Bullock. This one's actually still sealed. Bought this one used online, but it's come sealed. It's either never been opened or it's been resealed. I'm not sure which. And again, with my magic magnifying glass, see all kinds of stuff on the back. 3 hours of special features. There you go, look. Nearly 3 hours of special features. Experience the meticulous innovation necessary to create the world of zero-G and so on. I mean, that's another thing, another argument, isn't it? To buy your own physical media. You don't get all those extras. Game over. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to re-watching that one. I've seen it a few times. One of my favourite Sandra Bullock films, to be honest. Now, it is quite a new film. I actually bought this one new, so I think I paid $7.99 for this. Love Lies Bleeding. I was really interested to find out about this one. And I read as much as it's kind of like a love story between like a gym owner and a bodybuilder, and a complicated situation with one of their dads, and lots of crime. And it kind of like it sounded a little bit like True Romance, and to a degree it is, but obviously different as well. It's a good film. I liked it. Had some surreal moments as well, and some pretty extreme, over the top comedy, gore and violence. So that was good. Good performance in there as well by Ed Harris. Yeah, he was good. Moving swiftly on, older classic, American Beauty. I watched this one recently as well. I figured I needed to own this one, along with all the others really. This was quite cheap. But some of them, I think this was like £4 or £5 maybe, but I feel like they're creeping up in price, the Blu-rays. I feel like it's harder to get hold of these cheaper than, well, a film like this. You can't buy this as cheaply as you can buy a film like Gravity, for example, which you can pick up really cheap. Don't know why that is. But what a great film that is, if you've not seen American Beauty, one of my favourites. And I love the cover with all the American Beauty rose petals. It's actually a rose, the American Beauty. That's where the name came from, apparently. What details have we got on the back with the magnifying glass of doom? It's an 18. It contains strong sex and violence. I think there's some great performances in this film. Yeah, not least Kevin Spacey himself. Right, next we've got Lone Survivor. By the way, I know that you can get these films in 4K, but at the moment there's quite a disparity between the price of picking up a film like this in Blu-ray. So this again was £2 maybe. You can probably get it. I got that online, but you can probably pick these up in charity shops if you're lucky for £1. Lone Survivor with Mark Wahlberg. Now this has come out on 4K, but it's considerably more expensive to buy on 4K at the moment. I don't know whether those prices will come down or not. Who knows? I guess they might. Having said that, there's some 4K discs out there and some Blu-rays that are getting really expensive and rare and hard to find, hard to buy. So I don't know. Anyway, my point being, there's not a huge difference, I think, between Blu-ray and 4K. Now I know that there's improved resolution there, but I think you can really enjoy a film in Blu-ray on a big TV almost as much as a 4K. Sometimes the 4Ks aren't better. They've used some sort of AI upscaling technology, which actually becomes a bit detrimental. Not many cases of that, but it can happen. But obviously compared to DVD, it's hard to watch a DVD on that TV. Sometimes it does feel low res that's being kind of blown up. But Blu-rays, I think, have still got a lot of mileage. I really enjoy watching films on this format. Just also for the record, I actually wanted HD DVD to win at the time, and there was that battle raging back whenever, because I was an Xbox owner, so I went with the HD DVD. It was burgundy versus blue, wasn't it? And blue won in the end. Sony's Blu-ray. Anywho, this one is How I Live Now. Picked up a copy of this secondhand. This is another one that's actually quite hard to find cheaply. And I hadn't seen it before until very recently. And it's set in Britain. What did it say? American teenager Daisy is sent to live with her cousins for the summer in the English countryside. Defiant and unhappy. Blah, blah, blah. It's a really good film. It's unnerving. It's got some post-apocalypticness about it. It's got some familiar faces in it. It's a good film. Enjoyed it. It's a little bit bleak and depressing in places. But you got to see it through to the end, that film. It does have a satisfactory ending, I think. Right, Yes Man. One thing I just want to mention on the Jim Carrey theme is there's a lot of his films that are actually quite rare on Blu-ray, and I don't know why. So this is an easy one to find and buy. It's not too bad. But there's things like Bruce Almighty, and then ones like The Cable Guy and Dumb and Dumber that are just getting quite ridiculously expensive. Again, I don't know why. There must be just more demand than supply, I guess. But I like Yes Man. Again, this is one of his many films I hadn't seen recently. You have to say yes to everything, obviously, in this film. And it says, yes, say yes to this comedy gem, full of laugh out loud moments. It is some classic Jim Carrey in this one. Not so much of the slapstick from him, but there's lots of funny moments anyway. Lots of, excruciating expressions. I think there's one of his neighbours is this really old woman, and she wants to kind of get jiggy with him, and he's just basically having to say yes for sort of karma reasons to everything. So he ends up having to say yes to her, but with this expression that like, he doesn't really, he's not keen on that idea, obviously, but he goes through with it to a degree. So this has got various extras, talked about them a minute ago. Loads of extras on here, in fact. So if you like that film, you need to own that for the extras alone, I think, on Blu-ray. Just the last one for this video, Saving Private Ryan. Again, this is another one. You can get it on 4K. It is more expensive, a lot more expensive. And I dare say the purists will want that on 4K. I don't actually own it on 4K. Blu-ray's good enough for me at the moment. But some of those scenes, particularly that first beach scene, it's epic, isn't it? And it looks good enough on Blu-ray. It really does. If you've not seen this film, it's a good one. Definitely one to see. It's been around a while now. I can't remember when it came out now. Like 2000 or something. I don't know, that completely wrong. It's 169 minutes approximately. So it's quite a long film. Longer than my usual limit, but I'll make an exception for this one because I think this is a story that needs that time to be told. It's got loads of cameos in this as well. So it's obviously Tom Hanks in it. It's got Matt Damon. Who else? Tom Sizemore, Edward Burns. Yeah, I think there's some others. I can't remember now. But as you can see, I picked that one up recently for £3, if you can see that. £3 it cost, and I think that is a bargain for a film that I've watched before and will watch many more times. The whole world can go, can go wrong. Internet can fail, whatever. It can all happen. I can still watch that film as long as I've got an electricity supply. Anyway, thanks for watching this video and hearing me waffling. Let me know what you think about rebuying or not rebuying physical media like Blu-rays in the comments. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.